Welcome to this BTO breeding bird survey tutorial. I'm Jen, and in the next few minutes we're going to take you through what you need to know before you start your BBS survey. Before you start your survey, make sure you are definitely on one of the randomly selected 1 kilometre squares that has been allocated to you by a regional organiser or by staff at BTO. If you're not, then you won't be able to submit your records to the National Monitoring Scheme. Compared to other BTO surveys, BBS does have one of the highest skill levels required for participation. As long as you're familiar with the birds in your allocated square, then you can still provide useful information for the survey. However, don't let this deter you from taking part. Some squares may have as few as 10 or even 5 species in them, such as cities or moorland. Mixed habitats, for example containing both wetland and woodland, will contain a greater mix of species. The important thing is to find a square that suits your skill level and experience. If you are new to your square or to the survey, then it is a good idea to review the previous records for that site. It's worth checking that you are happy with the ID of the species recorded. Even the most experienced birders can benefit from a pre-season warm-up by listening to recordings of those harder to separate species like blackcap and garden warbler. You can view the previous records on your square on BBS online. If you are new to the survey or new to a particular site, it's a good idea to undertake a recce visit to get the lie of the land. Be sure of your route and maybe even get a flavour of what you might find. You may also have used your recce visit to record the habitats on the square. We deal with habitat recording in much more detail in a separate video. However, try and avoid recording habitat at the same time as you are recording birds, unless you are really experienced, or it is simply not practical to come back another time. If you are only recording small changes from previous visits, then that's fine. When it comes to the real thing, you want to be totally focused on recording birds. So a recce visit is a good opportunity to get those potential distractions out of the way. Pick a date that is close to the average date for your visit. You can find out what the average date is by looking at your homepage on BBS online. It doesn't have to be the exact same date each year, but somewhere close. For example, aim for roughly the same week. If the weather is poor and you can't record, then don't worry about it. Come back when it's better and you have the time. Again, if you find yourself falling a little bit away from the ideal, don't worry about it. A visit 2 weeks after the average is better than none at all. The whole idea, as with so many aspects of this survey, is to be as consistent as possible. For the most part, you should record birds when the weather is fair. Avoid heavy rain, strong wind, or anything that is going to hamper visibility like thick fog or cloud cover. An early start is what is needed for this survey, sometime between 6 and 7 am, and finishing no later than 9 am. Your visit should take somewhere in the region of a couple of hours, with those tackling more challenging terrain obviously taking a little longer. Whilst it might seem like a good idea to survey during the dawn chorus, we advise against it. If nothing else, as it can be both challenging and overwhelming. Make sure you've got all the things you need for safe and comfortable fieldwork. That will vary depending on where you are, and for surveyors tackling featureless squares, we deal with the challenges of navigation in a separate video. And please do take a look at our guidance for fieldworkers before starting. And finally, make sure you've got your binoculars and your recording forms or notebook at the ready. If you're using forms, these will either have been sent to you by your regional organiser or BTO head office, or you can download them yourselves from the BBS web pages.